If you're an arborist and you clicked on this video, it is more than likely that you've experienced a slow winter before. And with that slow winter, you've also seen other arborists around you racking in jobs during the wintertime, or even after the wintertime is over and the rough season stops. They're racking in jobs. These guys have no problems pulling in jobs, and meanwhile, you're kind of left in the dust and, not pulling in any clients, no true moves, no nothing. There is no slow season. There's only a slow pipeline. Okay, so the trees are never going to stop growing, branches aren't going to stop dying, and homeowners just aren't going to stop worrying about their property, their trees, and whatnot. The demand is always there. They're just not seeing you. While you blame the calendar, homeowners are still calling someone. Okay, so there's always going to be storm damage, fallen limbs, dead trees, or emergency work. These emergencies don't exactly check the season before they happen. It can happen during the summertime, it can happen during the winter. Okay, but winter is definitely peak hazard season. So you have heavy snow loads if you live in an area where it snows. There's tons of ice damage and just dormant season pruning. So it all drives demand during the wintertime. If anything, winter should not be as slow as it is. Right? The only reason it's slow is because around holiday time, like Christmas, people are spending a lot of money on gifts and whatnot, New Year's Eve, things like that. So that doesn't necessarily mean that winter should be slow. Homeowners are still planning spring projects in the winter, right? So the people calling in March pretty much started searching in January already. Like, these guys are thinking ahead of time, right? You're like, okay, well, why are these other arborists booking jobs then? It's because your competitor, right, the people that you're thinking of right now, think of somebody in your head who always has work. Your competitor who kept his ads running in November is booking all of those March jobs right now. So right now it's actually April, and people are still coming out of slow seasons. I know places like Washington, Minnesota, it's still pretty slow. Texas, it's a little slow. It's starting to pick up in Texas. Um, right now in April, arborists are picking up jobs and booking out a month or two in advance. Right, so you should be able to do the same during the wintertime as well. So when it comes to the wintertime, I know is what you guys are thinking. Wintertime is like the worst for you, right? But when it comes to wintertime, it's not actually slow months that you're losing. You're actually just entirely leaving money on the table. The average tree service books 8 to 15 jobs a month, right? At around 1,000 to 2,500 per job during the off season. Okay, that is anywhere from $6,000 to almost $38,000 flowing somewhere. It's not disappearing. It's going to the competitor that I previously mentioned is continuously running ads. They have all their content up still, and these guys are still staying visible to every homeowner in your area. 68% of tree service companies pause or cut marketing in the off season, handing the market to pretty much whoever keeps showing up. Your competitor especially. If you close down marketing for just 4 months and miss only 6 jobs a month at $1,500 average, that's $36,000 gone every single year. And that's not really something that you guys can really be affording. Really, that's a whole nother crew, right? You guys could buy a whole nother skid steer. And constantly, tree service is getting searched all the time year round, every single month. Google Trends show that tree removal searches will drop only 20 to 30% in the wintertime. So most arborists are actually cutting their visibility by 80 to 100%. This could be dropping their ads, could be cutting their websites because they can't afford to keep paying their guy who's keeping their website up. Things like that, So what you're actually doing by cutting down your visibility is you're creating a massive gap between supply and demand, and it's allowing your competitors to stand right in it. So 73% of homeowners searching for tree work in the winter book within 2 weeks of their first search. They're ready to hire now. These are people who are ready to book ASAP. These are people who know what they want, they know what the service is, or they have an emergency job that they need to handle. The wind was too strong during the winter, blew a tree down. It's leaning over and it's about to crash down on their house, probably above their kid's room or something. You know what I mean? They need you to basically go in and be Superman and save the day, cut it down. So if anything, it is better during the winter time because you have all that work. And I know a lot of you guys understand that. You guys just refuse to believe it because you guys cut down your visibility and allow your competitor to go pick up that tree that I was just talking about. So what this means for you is that the homeowner who needs a dead tree removed in February is not going to be waiting until April. They're going to be calling whoever shows up in their feed today, especially when most of it is emergency work, and trees are dying and things like that. The work exists, the money exists. You just are not allowing yourself to receive it because you are opting out. You told yourself it was slow, but 3 competitors in your zip code stayed live and split your market share among them. Every job they book in winter becomes a review, a referral, and a returning customer that you'll never get back. Their algorithm learns all winter, so when spring demand spikes, their ads are cheaper and smarter than yours will ever be. The arborist who runs consistent ads year-round pretty much enters springs with a full pipeline, better data, and lower cost per lead. The longer Facebook stays up, the more data it collects, and it really just understands the area that you're servicing more, who they should be sending your ads out to. So when the right people actually sign up for your ads, Facebook takes that data and understands that, okay, these are the kinds of people. Let's look for somebody else just like this. Every month has a reason for homeowners to hire an arborist. So you're not just creating demand, you're really just capturing the demand that pretty much already exists. You just never really had a system to reach it, right? The arborists running ads in December aren't exactly being optimistic. They're just being strategic, or at least the company that they're working with, right? So fall and winter ad angles that convert are things that are oriented towards storm prep, hazard removal, snow load risk, dormant pruning, land clearing before the grounds freeze, right? And then again, like I aforementioned, the arborist who ran ads all year, I can't express this enough, entered spring with lower cost per lead, better reviews, and a full pipeline. The one who paused is still playing catch up in April. We're working with a client that we signed mid-February, and he is killing it right now through April. Okay, so again, the arborist that entered spring with lower cost per lead is going to enter with a full pipeline right now. So in order to prevent your competitors beating you, booking all the jobs that you could have been booking, you want to be able to run meta ads all year round and target those off-season pain points, right? So that way you can start booking jobs now and build a pipeline for spring. Because like I just said, during December, there's Christmas, and then before that there's Thanksgiving. A little bit after that is New Year's, right? No one really wants to be spending a ton of money on a tree, but they're still very interested. So just because they don't book with you a week after Christmas doesn't exactly mean it's slow. There's just all these people waiting to book with you in February, in March, in April, and they're willing to book in advance, right? You just need to be able to find them with the proper targeting. And by getting that proper targeting, you have to be working with Facebook long enough to learn the data in order to bring you as many leads as possible. Again, the slow season is really just a choice. So you can choose to stay visible instead in order to beat your competitors instead of just blaming it on the slow season. You know what I mean? So instead of blaming it on your competitors, you can choose to stay visible instead. That's because instead of hating on your competitors, sometimes you got to become them. So instead of hating on your competitors, you have to do something similar or better to what they're doing. They're choosing to stay visible. You must choose to stay visible. The slow season is a choice, so you can't always blame it on the season. If you guys are interested genuinely on how to eliminate those slow months, be able to book out your summers, your winters, and understand marketing a little bit more and see how we can work with you, any questions you have at all, just book a free strategy call. The link's in the description. No pressure if you don't want to. But I hope to see you guys there. My name is Joseph with Arborist Launch. Hope to see you guys soon.